Hello, my name is Scott Simmons. I'm the pastor at Faith United Church of Christ. And my hope for you is that you would know the hope that comes from knowing God's grace. One of the places that God talks about and reveals his grace to us is through the Bible. And if you're anything like me, sometimes the Bible can be a bit difficult to understand. One of the things that's really helped me come to understand the Bible is the idea of a biblical theme. And so I want to talk with you for just a moment about the biblical theme of the image of God. On page 1 of the Bible, in the book of Genesis, we're told that humanity is created in God's image. Men and women are created to be co-creators like God. And we create wonderful things like art and music and families and civilizations. And that's our purpose in the world, is to bring about the potential and the goodness that God put in the world. But by page 3, it's clear that humanity often falls short. Instead of creating good things, we create things like pollution and disease and division and war and violence and all the things that when we look at our world, we're so troubled by and fearful of. The Old Testament is the storyline of how humanity has fallen short of living into that image of God, sometimes getting it right. There's some beautiful stories in the Old Testament, but often getting it wrong. And that leads us to the New Testament and the story and ministry of Jesus, who was claimed to be the perfect image of what it means to be a human. And therefore, he lived fully into the image of God in which he was created. When Jesus has an opportunity to tell his disciples what it means to really follow him and live life like he did, he says that we are to love like he loved. Later, a guy named the Apostle Paul, who spent the first part of his life as a fallen individual, creating destruction and violence in the world, he has a change of heart, learns to love like Jesus. And he says when we love like Jesus, we exhibit things like compassion and kindness, humility, gentleness, patience, and forgiveness. You can read more about that in his letter, Colossians 3:12-14. Now, let's be honest. The people you really want to be around, they're the people who live like this. And when you're at your best, when people want to be around you and you feel the best about you, you want to live like this as well. Why? Because when you're doing so, you're living into the image in which you were created. This theme of the image of God, it carries all the way through the Bible. It's one of many themes that can help you begin to understand the broader, life-giving story of the scripture. On Monday next week at 7 o'clock over Zoom, I'm going to be hosting a series of classes on these biblical themes. We're going to start with the image of God, and you can learn more. I wish you well.